Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be working on this Christmas ephemera holder that I started making in a previous video. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and done a bit of decorating. I haven't finished, so I need to do some more of that today. One of the things I did was to put some staples here because the eyelet has not gone all the way through. It is just coming away at the back here, so even the staples were a little bit challenged, but I managed to get, I used a bigger stapler, not a Tim Holtz one, that was too small. So I used a normal size stapler and put a couple of staples down here to hold it all together, and then I've just covered it up with some of the Florentine paper. So I've just covered the pockets, the ones that were made of envelopes, just the plain ones, with some papers. I'm using a mixture of papers, as I've done for my journal. All the kits have come out, so I'm using a bit of everything. So that was an envelope, so I'm using different kits on every page, so I just think it looks fun just to have a real old mixture. So that's from the Crafty Cat Christmas Letters to Santa, I think. That's from Winter Bouquet. That's another one. I think this is this was a bit of a collage I did, because I had this piece that I liked, but it wasn't big enough, so I've just collaged a few other bits on there, and I like that as well. And then there's another piece from Winter's Bouquet. So I've just done the first half, and all the rest are still waiting to be decorated. It's not many more to do. And also the other thing I did, I replaced these big paper clips. They were just too clunky. I was sad because I've been waiting to use these for I don't know how many years. I've had them so long in my stash. But actually they were just too big and clunky, sticking out too much. So I've just got an ordinary gold paper clip and just wound a little piece of Christmassy fabric. It's the fabric I used on the inside of my journal. Just on those two, on the two bags where they've just folded over and paper clipped them. So the other, what I was thinking was afterwards, after I decorated them, I thought, actually, I'm not sure I've got enough places to put things, because I've realised just how many things I've got. Just to give you an example, I had this sitting in my stash. I hadn't cut them up till yesterday. Just pages and pages. It's called, it's by Antique Papery. I don't even know if they're still open. And it was a retired collection. Well, they call it Retired Collection number 1, so she probably had more than one of those. And they were just sheets of, I suppose they're toppers. And I cut them all up. There must have been about 7 or 8 pages of it. And look how thick. It's like, they're like playing card size, I suppose. But they're all really lovely images. And there was pages and pages of them. So I've cut them all up, and I'm thinking, well, I could fill the ephemera holder by themselves. I mean, because you can't get too many in a single pocket. So I thought I might try and extend some of these smaller pockets, because these are ideal size, I think. I'll just check to pop in here. It might be a bit small for those. That one maybe not, but certainly I could put them on. I'm going to put pockets on the front of each of these. But I've also got this one, which is a bit smaller, this envelope, I think. So whether they'll go in there or not, maybe they won't, actually. I thought these would go in perfectly, but I think possibly they're a bit smaller than I realised. Or the pockets are a bit bigger than I realised, so maybe something else will have to go in those pockets. I don't want them to disappear inside the pockets. But anyway, I thought I might think about extending some of these pockets, but we'll see, because I'm going to put pockets, probably 2 deep pockets I think on here, so maybe that's what I'll get, two each side. Yeah, I'm going to be making some pockets to go on everything, so we'll see. But I thought I could possibly do little extensions to some of these just to make my space go a bit further, or I could add something onto there, I suppose. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. Let's get cracking and do a bit more decorating on some of these. It's getting a bit tricky towards the back, because as you can see, it's beginning to come away. The eyelet didn't go through, as I mentioned, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful that they don't get too torn. So I'm going to hold that down, and just get my glue. And I just need to pick a page, and I've got scraps of all sorts. So I've got this one, Romantic Arts, Christmas Shabby Papers. I'm trying to do them so they're not overly clashy, but it doesn't matter if they are a bit. So there's, I can cut that down. Just need a pencil. Cut that there. I'm trying to keep it simple, not doing loads and loads of collaging unless it makes sense or I see something I want to use, like I did on that previous one. I'll just get my ruler's fallen over, or the pot that it's in has fallen over, so I'm just going to grab it. So I'm a bit hot because I put my onesie on today because it's going to be a horrible day. They tell us Storm Arwen is arriving today, and it's going to be cold and windy and nasty. So I put my onesie on thinking, well, I want to be all nice and cosy, and it's so warm I actually only need half of it on. I took my arms out because I got so hot. So yeah, so half of me is covered in a onesie, and the other half is oh no, that's not the mark, there's the mark. The other half is not, and it's keeping me quite warm, just half wearing it. Actually, I quite like that because it's you feel a bit freer when you've got bare arms. Normally, I'm not that warm in bare arms. I'm a bit of a cold morsel usually. Right, there's the mark. I could get this piece across the top here. It says Christmas greetings. I might just, do I dare to tear around that and just, don't know if I'm going to put, the thing is, half the time I'm going to be covering up all the nice images, aren't I? Oh well. Because I'm going to be probably going to put a pocket across the bottom here. Maybe not cover him completely, and I might put Christmas greetings across the top. Let's just, did I ink around the others? I can't remember. Let's have a look. Yeah, I did. I like the look. So I'm going to have to just quickly ink around some of these. So I'm really quite looking forward to being able to put some things in this. I'm just hoping I've got enough room for everything that I want to put in it, but I think it will take most of it. If it's not full, I'll probably just go and buy more. Or I just print more off. Okay, this is almost empty, this bottle. I have got a new bottle. I want to try and use this up, but I don't know if it's going to let me. Let's try and give it a poke. Sometimes you just need to break the seal a bit where it gets a bit gunked up. Now this pin is just so covered in glue that I don't think it'll actually poke in the hole. I'll need another pin. Usually I say I like using this because it's so much easier, but it's not. Once it starts, it'll be fine. Here we go. I'm just gonna, I find that sometimes it can be a bit lumpy, so I'm just going to spread it a little bit. The nice thing about using the brown pockets is it doesn't matter if a bit shows, because they they look okay just having that brown border anyway, don't they? Right, that's that one. Need a bit more on that corner. Right, let's get to see if the our glitter glue wants to join in, but who knows? Yep, it's doing a bit better. Okay. Right, what can I put on here? I just worked my way through my kits. I've got a pile of them here. See which ones I've got a piece of scrap that might work. Is it going to be big enough? So maybe I was going to put this bit of Christmas greetings on there, wasn't I? Let me just tear around that. Otherwise it's a bit plain and boring on that pocket. And this is the bit that will show. So I could put that on. Are you going to come out now? Apparently you are. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to put that up here, wasn't I? Ooh, nearly gone too. Oh, I'm going to have to tear a bit off. Otherwise, poor old Santa's going to lose top of his head or get it covered up. I will come back in and do a little thumb notch when it's dry. Right, so I was going to put this piece at the top here. I just need something to go across the bottom. What shall I put across the bottom? Vintage by me. That piece work. So I could, would that fit that way? No. Doesn't look right, it's the wrong way round, isn't it? Nope, that's not the right way around either. See if this will look any better. That works. Well, it works for me. It'll do. It's going to get covered up anyway, really, so probably slightly pointless, but done that the right way, right size. Slightly too wide. Right. So I don't want to spend too long just on decorating. I'd quite like to start getting some pockets on here. Because after all, a lot of these is going to get covered up, which is why I've mostly gone for kind of neutralish. Not all the time. Let's face it, I've just gone for whatever looks I like the look of, even if it's going to get covered up. Okay, pop that on there. Just where it's gone around the edge, I think I need to put something a little stronger here. Just because it's curling around the side a little bit. And then I'm going to put this piece on, which will probably get, as I say, get covered up by a pocket, but you never know, might be a bit poking out. And I'll be using probably scrapbook paper for the pockets just because they're a little bit more sturdy and will withstand the putting things in and out all the time a bit more than just some of these papers. There we are. Okay, that's that one done. Right, so let's look and see what else we need to do. I haven't quite decided. I think I'm wondering whether I might put one or two pockets on this paper bag that I've fixed on here. And then I've got a side tuck here, so this will need decorating, won't it? Yes, yes it will. Got this paper by Vintage by Me, that might be quite nice because it's a kind of collage-y sheet, but I wondered about putting this piece on here. Let's just tear that there. Now let's see how wide. It doesn't need to be very wide or very long. I could just put the centre there, couldn't I? So if I just go across the bottom here. far as that. Okay. And across, if I can see my mark. There. So that was digital kit by Vintage by me. And that looks quite nice on there. Yep. Might put a thumbnail on the side there, show it's a tuck spot. Maybe somewhere for journal cards or something. But I do, there it is. There we go. So then you've got somewhere to pop quite a good size piece, or even some of these I guess could go in there too. I don't want them all spread all over the place. I want to keep them together really. Things that go together I'd like to try and keep together. I don't know how easy that will be to do. Right, so then I've got this envelope here. Where that piece come from? Right, so let's have a look. What else can I use that I haven't used yet? Well, I've got a piece of this, which is rather nice. This is by the Antique Papery, the Christmas kit. I like that. So I'm going to tear that down there. Put that away for a second. I think I'd quite like to just tidy that up at the bottom. So I want to get this bit in because I like that. Oh. Where is it? Lost it. There it is. Make sure I have cut it at the top there, haven't I? Yep. I've cut my pocket. Just have to check I've cut the pocket. Okay. Now I was going to do it from here, wasn't I? And mark it out there. I am going to just ink around this a little bit. Just take off that white edge. Okay. Those bits over here. And just going to put that there. I've got some in each corner. Oops. Is it fitting? Looks like I might have cut it a little bit short. So I might just put a little, well, maybe I won't put anything across the bottom because I'm going to put a pocket on here. Probably be a small one, but I'm going to put pockets on, as I said, pockets everywhere, so I will leave that because I shall probably end up covering a lot of it up anyway. Never mind. And on the other side, I want to use some of this kit, which is the Digital Journal Kit's Christmas Time, which is one of the kits I used last year. I don't know if I've got any actual scraps of this. Let's have a look. Not really, but that's okay. I'll use this anyway. This makes really nice backing paper in the journal. So to take off the white bit, it's really annoying. I have to do that nowadays. Especially as I'm so rubbish at it. Let's just cut it and be done with it. Right. Now I'm going to mark it with my pencil. Mark it there. I think I will be trimming it off a bit more on the other side. It's not very straight there, so I think I'll have to tidy it up. So I've made this. Okay, bring this back in again. Right, let's have another look. So I need to just take off about 1/8. There we go. wonder if it would matter if I put it up that way, which I've got the softer torn edge on the outside. I think that's what I'll do. Oh, didn't really intend to get that one out. Don't know why I'm doing that. This is the one I was going to use. Okay, that's very thoroughly covered. I think that's on all right. We've gone a bit too far over in that way. It's not quite sticking down there. But if necessary, I'll go back in with some art glitter glue just to make sure. Shall I do that anyway? Well, it's possible that once the pocket's on, it'll hold it down anyway, won't it? Okay, let's just do this last. This is the one that's really struggling to hang on. So I don't know whether I can do something about that. Maybe I'll have to do a bit more stapling. Keep it all together. Well, it's really being held on by the baker's twine there, isn't it? Well, let's cover it. It will look better if it's covered. Have I got any kits I haven't used yet? Oh, yes. I haven't done any of my tailor-made journals Christmas wrapping paper on here, have I? Right. How about a bit of that? That would be good, wouldn't it? So I'm just going to tear off the snowy bit at the top, or the sky, or whatever it is. And tear it down there. Get rid of as much of the yellow as I can. Not my favourite colour. Don't know what possessed me to put it on the front, but I think I managed to disguise it quite well on the front page. So I wonder whether to go round, all the way round. That sort of add a little bit of reinforcement. No, I'm too scared to take off the baker's twine to re-thread it in case it all falls apart. So I'm going to have to just go on there, take a little bit off. There. Right, let's see. I can just take it around the bend a little bit. You may definitely need a little bit extra help from the art glitter glue. Let's see. Put plenty on that side. thicker on here, so I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. Otherwise it can sometimes looks a bit lumpy. Oh, I can see the wind's picking up out there. I think Storm Arwen is definitely beginning to make her presence felt. And I'm nice and snug in my craft room. Oh, I might have to. Let's just. I'm going to have to trim that a bit. Might have to. Trim it across the bottom anyway. So it's just about gone around. Covered up the whole little bit, but I think the more I can reinforce this bit, the better, I guess. And I'm just going to trim off a little bit that it's poking down at the bottom there. Right, now I need to put something on the inside. And what can I use? I want to use one of these again. Got this piece. Oh, if that would go on there like that, that would look fun, wouldn't it? Boom, boom, boom. Let's see how far in I can take it. Go to about there. About there. Let's see if that's about the right size. I made it too short. Almost okay. Half inclined to just cut a loop there, so I can put it around. Maybe I can just snip so that it goes around the string. Where's my scissors? There we go. Get it in the right place. Go out. I think it might. Give it a go. Nothing to lose. I don't know where I've put the pocket on this one. I have put it at the top. Okay, you didn't need to see me struggling with this stupid glue, so I've just had to play with it off camera, and I've got it to come out. I'll just smooth it out a little bit. There we are. Okay. So I'm thinking if I can just get that to go around the thread. Right inside the middle, that would look better, and it'll make it stronger. Although I seem to have got it slightly in the wrong place. I'll just trim off the top, glue everywhere. And again, I've got this little piece at the bottom, but I will probably put a little pocket here so it won't show. I would prefer it if it went right to the bottom, of course, but It's not really worth sticking a little tiny piece on just to cover up something that's going to get covered up anyway. Still sticking out a little bit there. That's it. Right, so I've got everything covered. I need to do my pocket, my little thumb holes, don't I? So where did I start? This was the first one, so this should be nicely dry now. And I think I'll use my smaller punch. I think that's what I've used. Have I used that before? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll put that, try and create a little thumb notch. Here it is. Here. It's not cooperating. Get the whole arm in. There we go. There we are. We have a little thumb hole. There we go. And then I'm not going to do anything there. I'm going to do one here with the big one, if I can, and get that in. Oop. Okay. May not entirely be central, but it's not too far off. And then another one at the top here. So it needs a little bit of inking around the top, around there anyway. Right. Now what I've been doing with the ones on the white envelope is actually taking the piece that I've punched out and sticking it on. So I'm going to do that. I think it looks kind of a bit nicer like that. There we are. Just covers up. It's not entirely straight, but ink it up, and that covers all multitude of errors, doesn't it? A bit of ink. There we are. A bit of ink down the middle. Sorry. There we are. Okay. So the last thing, looks like I'm not going to have time to do and start the pockets today. But that's okay. I do have one other little job I wanted to do. So I should have time to do that. And that is to do with my little accordion holder thingy. I want to put some tabs on here. So I'll just undo that. I don't know how that's going to work. Let's have a look. So I want a tab to say what's in each one. So I've got a couple prepared, but I don't know if what I'm going to put in the third envelope yet. So all I've done is I've taken some Florentine paper and I've made my own tabs. So I've done a couple, and I just thought I'd show you because it's not a punch. Well, at least it's not a tab punch that I've used. It's literally folding up a piece of paper. It's really easy, even though sometimes a tab punch you think will make life a lot easier. I thought the same myself, but I haven't got one. they're quite expensive, so I thought, well, let's just make this the same height as the other one. Just trim off that edge. And all I do, and I'm sure other people have done the same, do the same thing, is pop the top corner in just a little way to create that little bit of shaping, and it looks quite nice as a punch, as a tab. Don't really need to do anything more than that. And little pieces, little corners fly everywhere. Got a little piece left. Right, so I've also got some labels made for the two that I know that I want what I'm going to do. So I should pop those on. So the first envelope is going to hold people. So probably small Victorian children and Santa Claus. All those images, because I love using those, and I have used quite a lot in my... But I just thought if you pop them in a pocket, they could get bent, and they might not do too well going in and out of pockets. So I thought maybe if I put them in here, it'll keep them a bit safer. So just need to pop that there, and I'll put one there. So I'm going to put him on the left. I'll have to avoid the hole in the middle, so I'll have to decide where the middle one's going to go. Might have to just overlap a little bit with this one. And so I'm going to put this as far over to the left as I can. So that just that little piece is it straight? Not really. Straightish. There we are. So that one is there, and all I've used to make my little labels, I've got this label printer I bought years ago from a TV crafting station called Create and Craft. They were doing a special deal on it. It was £10, and I've used it and used it and used it. It's been brilliant. I think they're a lot more than that these days. I think it was a bit of a bargain on that at that occasion. Right, so the other one I've called Tinies. In other words, I've got really some tiny pieces of Christmas of ephemera. Certainly with the eclectic eggplant kit and with the Dreams Etc. kit, there's lots of really tiny pieces that they'll get a bit lost in pockets possibly. So I thought I'd put the tiny pieces into one of these envelopes in the accordion part. Now I haven't quite decided what's going to go in the third section. I did think I might put flowers in there. That was one of my options. I'm going to have to see how they look in there. Because again, flowers won't go in a pocket, but I could possibly pop them into one of these envelopes. So let's see. I'm going to have to make sure. I wonder whether I can just put it there. Now I'm going to put it over here. Yeah, that'll be alright. I'll put it there. Because I put the label slightly over to the right. So it's no good me putting it over the other side of the hole, and it just misses the hole there. And then I've got room to put my third label on the right. Maybe I'll do flowers, and then if I change my mind I can always put another label over the top if the flowers don't work in there terribly well. Let's do that. Then it's done, and I could try putting things in it. So I'm just going to turn my turn my thing on and just do flowers. And you can have them on 3 different size fonts, so small, medium and large. So I've got it set on small because obviously these are very small, but on capitals. And I'll just press print. It's brilliant. I love this little machine. I have labels all over my craft room. And you can get different coloured tape. So I've also got black tape with white writing. I've got black tape with gold writing. I've got pink tape with white. I mean, you can get all sorts of colours. And it's lovely, and I've got all my little boxes and things are all labelled. It was a bit of a family joke a while ago that if you didn't move, Mum would stick a label on you. I've used them at work. People have asked me to bring my label printer in for work when I used to go to work. Label files and all sorts. It's just so versatile. You can, and I just like having things labelled, knowing what things are in the boxes. Right, so let's pop this one on here, and then it's just split down the middle, so you can just peel it away really easily. I love that. So much easier than some of the stickers and things that we buy, which I always struggle with. Okay, let's put the flower label on there. And okay. Right. I'm going to put this on here. Right. So there it is. There's all my little tabs. People, tinies and flowers. So now I know what I'm going to put in each of these envelopes. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Let me baker's twines come out the hole. And it's starting to unravel, so I'm just going to try and get it back through before it completely unravels. There we are. And that will then hold them, keep them closed and stop them all from falling out, hopefully. Obviously it won't fold as flat as this once I've filled it with various pieces. So there we are. I think for today, that's as far as I can go really, because I really need to start adding my pockets. I don't think there's much more I can do in the way of decoration. Oh, what are they doing in there? I've still got to consider whether to add more envelopes. I did have one ready to, perhaps, I'm thinking I could hinge it, perhaps have a little piece going in as an extra pocket. What do you think? I think perhaps I'll have to have a think about whether I'm going to do that. I might have to do that bit off camera, so you'll see when I come back whether I decided to go for it or not. I haven't quite made up my mind how well it would work, but I could just hinge that there, just having it come into about there, then I've got an extra pocket and I could do one each end. We will see. That might be something I'll have to, because I'll have to add it before I start putting any pockets on here, otherwise it'll get in the way. Okay, that's for me to consider in between this video and the next, I think. But when I come back next time, I will start adding pockets to all of these. I don't know whether I'll put pockets on here. We'll see. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Join me again for the next one. Bye for now.